let us agree that transparency and truth and financial management and planning are essential in government. That's fair, I think, to reasonable people. Fact, structure of this tax prioritizes jail construction over real safety investments. The fact of the matter is that those who work within fire and emergency services could receive the monies that are being devoted to the construction of a jail, but they will not. Fact, with $190 million remaining after construction of the jail, the city of Kansas City, Missouri will have to figure out for the next 20 years where $400 million to operate the jail will come from. That's a fact. Fact. Investment for first responders will be hard pressed because it is being shifted to jail construction. Fact. It is local government and law enforcement officials who chose to, in fact, not continue detention centers in the city of Kansas City, Missouri. There are opportunities to renovate, opportunities to bring up to code, opportunities to bring up to quality, various spaces within the city at patrol centers, including downtown, where $16 million has already been invested for the 8th floor at headquarters. What are we saying? That there is a better way if, in fact, beds are needed in more of a volume than now. There is a better way than to tax Kansas Cityans and then not be able to tell the people for the next 20 years how that jail will be funded in its operation. That's bad government. You wouldn't do it in your home, and so don't allow them to do it in this home. We are for safety, and voting against this does not mean you are against public safety. It means you are for a real comprehensive program that holds to account government for doing what it's supposed to do.
Right now, this tax proposal does not take into account all of those measures. It does not take into account the people who have to struggle to get by in this community, people who are in poverty, people who are struggling with mental health issues, people who are struggling with substance abuse issues. It does not take into full account the family members and loved ones who have to pay the price of that. It does not take into account even the full scope of all of the people who are dealing with this on a daily basis from a policy standpoint. We know in our engagement as an organization, as people who have been incarcerated, whose loved ones have been incarcerated, who have been victims of violence, that this tax is not enough and it sells us short. It defunds necessary resources and programs. It defunds emergency medical responders. It defunds medical services. All of those projects that we heard earlier today on this panel, it takes away. To just construct alone $250 million in a jail facility. The jail bed count right now is currently 250 people. That means every $1 million is going to detain one person. This city currently spends more on incarceration than it does housing. 7 times more. The city also spends more money than it does public health. 12 times more. It spends more money than it does on our homeless population. 74 times more. And we hear there's a need to balance enforcement and prevention. If there was a balance or a need for a balance, then why are we in this situation more now? It's not adding up, and it doesn't make sense to use our funds in the proposal that this city has provided us this spring. And that is why I encourage every single one of you to vote no on April 8th. And I encourage you, in voting no, to think about the other ways that these funds can be spent. That doesn't mean that there's not going to be another opportunity for this tax to be on a ballot.
That's right.
We know that this tax expires in 2026. There is another opportunity for this tax to be on a ballot, one that is reflective of our values, one that's reflective of our principles, one that's reflective of community safety, and even more than just values and principles, one that actually gets the job done.
That's right.
And this tax proposal does not do that.